From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Kora Siebert. From the Newsroom is a weekly news update brought to you by the Southeast Arrow. With all of the events happening in Cape Girardeau this past Saturday, one of them correlated perfectly with the business in downtown.
April 20th is Record Store Day, and we're here at Cape's local record store to see what it's all about.
Record Store Day began in 2008 as a way for small shops like Spectrum to bring in extra business. And while they sell alcohol, the wide variety of vinyls are their main appeal. The popularity of records has continued to grow, despite the antiquated nature of the medium. But why do students born over 100 years after the invention of records still want them?
I love that little the grainy sound of like the little scratches and stuff on the vinyl. I think it just adds a little like flavor, to the music, especially when it's like to that old music. And I kind of just like the sound. It's almost like white noise in the background of music. I like colored vinyls and like special limited edition stuff. I have a lot of there's a game called Undertale, and they released like an entire 7-piece set, all original art. Each vinyl is a different color, and it has it's like art. It's when music and art come together, and it's beautiful. I love the look of the vinyl.
As for me, I've got some Motorhead to listen to. Back to you, Cora.
From downtown to on campus, here is Ben Schicker with 60 Seconds.
And what are you doing here on campus? What's the table?
Well, I'm a preacher for a local church here, and our sign just explains it itself. Our sign says, do you have questions about God? We'll listen. So we're just talking to students, answering any questions, hopefully setting up future Bible studies where we can sit down and really have a long, in-depth conversation. I believe that the Bible is truth and can really help people with very, very real world problems. Well, I've always loved working with college students, just being very personable. I do just free counseling just from Bible. I'm not a certified counselor, don't claim to be, but I believe Bible has answers for people with very real problems, and college students tend to have lots of questions about life and in ways that different things that are affecting their lives, and I know that the Bible has answers for those.
Not even 20 steps away from the Questions About God table was a pop-up thrift store based out of St. Louis. Here's reporter Ben Schicker with more on the story.
We're outside of the University Center. We're chained up. The retailer based out of St. Louis has set up shop.
But my name is Jack Harmon. I'm 24, and this is kind of what I do. Honestly, I just didn't like my job. I was working at a sandwich shop, and I was like, I kind of want to figure out how I can make money kind of on my own time and my own schedule, and I kind of just ended up slowly turned into this. I think just in high school, I think clothes got really big, and I wasn't really, vintage clothes, but for me, I was like, when Supreme was really popular, I was like, I can't afford this $100 hoodie. So I was like, but I can go to a store and I can go to a thrift store and try to find one for really cheap. And that's kind of how I guess I got into clothes and what inspired me to start, selling them and stuff. We're chained up in St. Louis. We don't have a store right now. We just kind of have a place that we have our inventory. But we're looking into it potentially in the future. But right now, we're all online at Chained Up Vintage on Instagram.
To see where the St. Louis-based retailer will be at next, you can follow them at their social media handles right under me.
Along with the foot traffic that the pop-up thrift store provided, First Up Orientation also provided plenty of new faces of future Redhawks. Here is reporter Zach Huffman with more on the story.
SEMO hosts several First Step Orientation days throughout the year. The goal is to set up new students with a personal support system to help them find success during their time on campus. Students get the opportunity to meet with their academic advisors, tour the campus, and attend sessions to help them with the transition to college. However, on these days, dining halls, parking, and everywhere else on campus is taken over by prospective students and their guests, which can cause disruptions to the students who already attend the university. The question has been raised by some students on how necessary First Step Orientation days are. Here's the perspective of an incoming freshman.
What was the useful part of orientation?
Signing up for my classes, and there was a really cool, I think he was a junior or like a senior, who like helped us sign in, and he just like made small talk with the kids around him, and it was really useful. Like it was fun just seeing like what it's like to be an actual like student here.
That's all for today. Join us next week for a new installment of From the Newsroom. I'm your host, Kora Siebert, and until next time, take it easy, Cape Girardeau.